Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to this first episode of Series 5. Thanks for joining me. Delighted to be venturing out into a fifth year of the podcast. The pilot episode was back at Laseo Worlds in 2019, talking about Evie Leafarth from USA, now an Olympic bronze medalist. It's been a privilege to chat with 125 of those from around the world so far who make canoe slalom so special. I enjoy every conversation. Today we bring you results and insights from the European Canoe Association Junior and Under-23 Championships in Krakow, Poland. And today we have contributions for Alina Hocevar and Nathalie Siegrist. First, overall, we saw France again top the medal table across the Junior and Under-23 categories in classic slalom, team races and kayak cross, as they had also done at the ICF Junior Under-23 Worlds before the Olympics. Under-23 winners in kayak and canoe were Eva Petrascha from France, Ben Haylett from Great Britain, Alina Hocevar from Slovenia, Muan Debliki from France. Kayak cross winners were Mikel Farran from Spain and Dorian Delassus from France, with Louis Vuitton from France and Lois Lever from Great Britain fastest in the time trial. In junior, winners in kayak and canoe were Hanna Danek from Poland, Martin Cornu from France, Valentina Kosirova from Czechia, Ziegerlin Hocevar from Slovenia, and kayak cross winners were Filip Duda from Slovakia and Mina Blum from Germany, with Martin Cornu from France and Klara Mrazkova from Czechia fastest in the time trial. So let's start with Under-23 women's canoe champion Alina Hocevar, who had just represented Slovenia at the Olympics in Paris. Congratulations to you and the Slovenian team for 9 medals at the Junior Under-23 in Krakow. It's amazing. So you're now European Under-23 C1 Women champion, adding obviously to the medals that you've already won at Under-23 Worlds in Liptovsky this year as well. So describe to us a little bit that feeling of being on the podium in Krakow for you and the family.
First, thank you. Yes, it was an amazing weekend for our Slovenia team. We got many medals, 2 more fourth places and some finals. I think we need to be proud. And yeah, especially it was very successful for my family, for me and Ziga. We both won C1 race, so we became European champions at the same day, and this was really special and crazy. I really enjoyed racing there, and yes, I'm really proud of both of us. However, these championships, it was really hard and emotional and exhausting for me. I came basically directly from the Paris. I was still very tired. I guess my body wanted to tell me that I shouldn't go to Krakow because I got a bit sick right when I arrived to Krakow the next day. I'm still happy that and glad that I went to Krakow because now I am European champion. I decided to go to Krakow because I really like competing. Racing is like the fun part for me, and I don't want to regret in the future that I didn't go, so yeah, I'm really happy that I went. Yeah, it was an amazing weekend. First, I won qualis. This was, I think, for me for the first time that I won qualis. And I think this gave me a lot of confidence and even a bit more power, because I felt for the first time that I'm maybe one of the favorite for the medal. And it was pretty great feeling. Then on Saturday, I made really good run in K1 in the final. I did a big mistake in the last upstream, but it was still enough for a bronze medal. And I was really satisfied and proud because this was already the 3rd medal this year. So basically 3 out of 3. But on the other hand, I really wanted to win, to get the title, because I was already just for, 0.12 of seconds I missed the gold in Liptovsky Mikuláš just for 0.12 of seconds, and it was just for so small amount of time, and I really wanted to listen to my own to Slovenia anthem while standing on the podium. It's a big difference if you are first or second. Both me and Ziga on Sunday, we wanted to win. This never happens to me before, that I said to myself that I think that I'm able to win and that I go for a gold. But yeah, it was the first time that when I was in the starting block, when I was on the start, I felt like, I can do it. I can do a run, which I guess it will be enough good for a gold medal. And yes, I did it, and it was even more special to do it as the same day on the same day as Giga did it.
Amazing. Thank you. It's lovely to hear. So talking of starting blocks, yeah, I wanted to go back to the Olympics. Yeah, what was going through your mind in that 1 minute in that starting pool before your C1 runs in Paris?
Olympics were, yeah, very emotional, like emotional roller coaster for me. It was really special feeling to be there in the starting pool, because I never felt before so much pressure and so much stress. I didn't want to think about the race, like the race it is on every 4 years, that maybe I will never be there again. I tried to enjoy it, but on the other hand, this is really hard because you want to perform well. However, I think I did it pretty good. I managed to control my mind pretty well. And it's really hard to describe what is going through your mind in this 1 minute. I think I was very focused, and I knew what is my routine and what I need to do, what is my goal, what is my job to do. And then this 1 minute went away so quickly that I was already paddling, moving my boat, and then I focused on my strokes, and yeah, it was really quickly. Like this 1 minute passed really quickly.
I think it's a very different experience than being on a start line at Europeans or at Worlds or a World Cup. I mean, that whole 12,000 spectators in Paris is just very different.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe I didn't even now when I was again on the start line at Europeans, I felt this big difference. It was everything was so much smaller. Like I didn't feel such a pressure. You don't hear there is no spectator, so you don't hear this sound. I think it Olympics are definitely something special, and you can't compare with any other race.
No, it is. It is a very big deal, and yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, Europeans, yeah, kind of feel very much smaller. And I was going to ask you, yeah, having come from Paris to Krakow, yeah, I'm sure you were, yeah, tired more so than usual. Now, I'm guessing that your season is not done yet. Are you racing Ivrea and then Laseo World Cup races as well?
Yes, I'm racing them. I'm pretty excited to race the last two World Cups. Maybe I won't be in the best shape because my main races are already over. I prepared for Olympics the most, and also then for these under-23 races and the Europeans in Tatsan. So these last two World Cups, they will be more for fun and for another experience. But on the other hand, I think I got a lot of confidence at Olympics and at these under-23 races. So I'm excited to race World Cups to maybe see if this confidence can help me. Because I think this was my biggest problem, that I'm really not self-confident. So we'll see.
Well, that comes with age and experience. We talked to Peter Kauser about that. Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, Laseo course. Yeah, it's important to get as much time on there as you can. I mean, it will be potentially really the selection for spots for LA 2028 with Worlds there in 2027. So, anyway, I know that you want to race because it's fun. That was Alina Hocevar from Slovenia, winner of the C1 Women Under-23 in Krakow. She talked to us from home in Ljubljana, Slovenia. Next, Nathalie Siegrist is Paddle UK's lead academy coach and team lead for the Under-23 team. You had an impressive week for Great Britain at the junior and Under-23 Europeans in Krakow. I mean, Great Britain was third on the medal table. You had 12 medals. Tell us a little bit more about what those standout performances were.
Obviously, I could do the usual thing and tell you the standout were the gold medals, and they were definitely important and well earned and beautiful. But I feel like the standout is actually the team effort that went into each of the medals and also into each athlete, even the ones that didn't show on the podium. I think we've really performed well as a team, and the staff behind that and all the athletes working together to achieve that and make sure that everyone gets to the start line feeling like they can deliver the best of what they have on that day. I think that was the major achievement. But yeah, obviously the couple of gold medals we achieved were beautiful. Ben Haylett, who won the K1 Men Under-23 slalom race, he had to medal. There was a lot of pressure on him to achieve a medal this year because it's his last year Under-23. And he was very close to medaling at Worlds a month ago, and he felt the pressure. He had been in pretty much every final but two in all his Under-23 years, and he felt that pressure and then delivered when it mattered. So yeah, that was very impressive. But like I said, I'm impressed by everyone on the team. Even the ones that didn't put the run they wanted to were capable after the run, after a little pause and self-reflection, to say, I'm proud of what I've done. I've left it all out there and I'm going to learn from this. And this is a great learning experience, even the youngest ones.
So I'm sure amongst the medals, though, there were maybe a couple of medals that were maybe unexpected and were a real kind of personal best for a few of the athletes.
You know what? I'm always impressed by the medals, but I'm rarely surprised because you see the work that goes into the preparation. And all these athletes who medaled, I wasn't too surprised. I was impressed though, and I think I recognized the value of those medals. And I don't want to name everyone by name, but everyone who medaled, whether it was in an Olympic event or in this new medal event that is Krakow Sprint, or even in the team event, something that we'll probably never see at the Olympics, but it's still beautiful to achieve as a team when three boats deliver together. I think all of those performances were, you can't say expected because it has to all work out on the day, but not really surprising because I know how much effort they've put into the work in the lead-in and in the years leading to that as well.
Okay, and it seems that the standard of competition across the board at both junior and Under-23 level from all of the countries in Europe was very high.
Yeah, agreed. I think the level at junior and Under-23 is high, and the density at the top to actually medal. Once you're in the final, you really have to push the extra bit to actually achieve the medal. I was impressed by how some of our juniors really attacked and let go of all fear once they were on the start line. Looking at Arina Konchakov, the way she delivered her final run, I thought she really attacked it as an adult would. So that was really impressive. Mm-hmm. And if I look at someone who might not have delivered in the final, like Zoe Blythe Shields, when she paddled her heats run in K1 in the junior girls, she really delivered such a mature style of paddling. And you see that from other countries as well, like very mature paddling from very young athletes. I think the French K1 and C1 men obviously have shown that as well. That's very impressive. And I think this is good news for our sport, because it means the level of paddling is almost guaranteed for the next few years at the senior level as well, with those young, brilliant paddlers coming through.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So tell us a little bit more about your role as a British team lead in Krakow for under-23 team. I mean, how were your days filled?
They were very filled, as I'm sure every trip lead will know from their own experience. The team in Krakow was slightly smaller than the one in Liptovsky for Worlds, because we didn't have the additional 4 car-cross boats, but we still had 21 athletes on the ground and a large number of staff. So my days are filled by checking in. I'm with everyone. I'm trying to make sure I've spoken with each person every day just to check that everyone is doing okay. Also sending messages. So during the lead-in, the first few days of the trip, I sent daily messages with the key moments of the day, a couple of reminders, how to manage the heat. We are from Great Britain, and managing the heat in Krakow was challenging for us. And then obviously I'm also a coach on the trip, so I'm not just leading the trip. So then I put my coach hat on and then crack on with the usual tasks that the coach would do, setting a course walking, running the session, video debriefs, and then checking in with the physio, making sure that everything is in order with everyone's health, coordinating with all the staff, etc. Nothing out of the ordinary. This year, I've really tried to push into making sure I connected with every person on the trip, hopefully every day.
Okay, well, it seems to be paying off by the looks of it. And yeah, obviously you had under-23 Worlds in Liptovsky. You mentioned that kind of earlier. So what do the results in Krakow and under-23 Worlds in Liptovsky? I mean, what does that tell you about the potential for Great Britain looking out to LA 2028 and beyond, which I know is part of your remit?
Yes, indeed. So my role at home, apart from preparing for those trips, is really leading the academy, and the academy's job is to prepare for the next Olympics. So during this Paris cycle, our job was to prepare for LA, and now we're already looking towards Brisbane. So looking at this generation of athletes we had on these 2 trips this year, we have a few very good top under-23 athletes who will start aging out or move on to senior level, and most of them are already on the senior team, and some of them have even finaled at senior level. I think 3 of them already. So these will obviously now feed into this LA generation. And then we have a younger group of athletes that we are preparing already for Brisbane. And this is the job we do every day. And I think the results in Krakow were lovely, but it's also just the everyday job that is the big task that we have, preparing the next generation and helping them grow in a holistic way. It's not just about what's happening on the water. You want to prepare athletes, but also look at the person.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very, very important point as well. So tell us a bit about your paddling. I mean, you're growing up. Who were your heroes growing up? I mean, I was looking back at the record books. Sandra Friedel was the last Swiss senior world championship medalist in Laseo 1999. I think I was there. I mean, it must have been a memorable experience. I know that you were part of the coaching staff in Rio.
Yeah, so obviously I grew up in Switzerland and worked for Swiss Canoe until the end of 2020. And I was a teenager in the 90s and paddling in the 90s. It wasn't like now where you can just follow everyone on Instagram. So having heroes was a bit of a different task than it is today. But I was a great fan of Richard Fox back then because I thought he was someone that showed consistency and lasted over several years at the top of his game. And I remember going to watch the 92 Olympics with my parents when I was a teenager and asking him to sign my Barcelona 92 cap. And I was very disappointed that he didn't medal that day, but very pleased to actually see him race because you couldn't really watch much canoeing on TV. So, yeah. But apart from that, I don't think I really work with the hero side of it. Even now, I follow people on Instagram just because I'm curious about how they train. So more for my work rather than for the heroism of it. I think what impresses me the most, and especially when I was an athlete, is to watch how everyone was working hard in the background. So I was probably more inspired by the people who were training in the training group and pulling us forward. And that included Sandra Fridley, by the way. She was just a few years older than me and definitely pulling us to get better. And I think the most inspiring person for me was my coach probably back then, Jurg Guts. And as a matter of fact, he also came to coach in the UK. So I guess I'm following in his footsteps, and I hope that one day I can be just as successful as he was. Still working on it. I did get to go to Rio as a team leader, not as a coach. I was not coaching the athletes. I was more managing the team then. It was a great experience. I don't know if the Olympics are the end game for me. It's more about doing the job on the bank on an everyday basis and helping anyone, no matter what their level is, to grow.
Okay, so you alluded to earlier that a job on the bank is in Lee Valley for you, and maybe what a great training facility and racing venue that is.
Yeah, so when I saw this opportunity to come and work for what was then British Canoeing, so now PAL UK, and work at this amazing venue, I thought it was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and anything that I could have imagined before I came was nowhere near what it actually is. It's better than you can imagine to work here. So every day I catch myself smiling about how lucky I am to be working here. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I really enjoy the fact that we have officers here. We see each other, not just on the bank, but also when we are doing debriefs, so I can see what everyone else is doing. We can exchange and grow together. I have a sense of belonging in this big house of Paddle UK down here at Lee Valley. It's not something that I really had much before. And then obviously the venue itself, it's amazing. It's important to me to adapt to each athlete and try and find a unique way to coach that particular athlete and adapt my style to what their needs are. When I was in Switzerland, it also meant coaching in their language. If they spoke French, I would coach in French. If they spoke Swiss German, I'd coach in Swiss German. And if I transpose this to the UK, then if someone needs more direct type of communication, then I'm trying to do that. I'm not saying I'm completely achieving that, but this is the goal I have, to really find what works for the athlete. And I hope that this will help everyone find their unique way of being successful. And then finally, I think the results we saw in Krakow are showing how well we work together as a team. And I think this is the power being a strong team behind the scene, and all the people you don't see necessarily, the analysts, etc., that are helping the coaches be better, and then the athletes be the best versions of themselves.
That was Nathalie Siegrist, Great Britain under-23 team lead. She talked to us from Paddle UK offices in Lee Valley, England. Thanks to my guests today, Alina Hocevar and Nathalie Siegrist. Our next episodes will bring results and interviews from the 2 remaining World Cup races in Ivrea, Italy and Laseo, Spain. I'm John Gregory. Thanks for listening. If you need more, keep reading Ettore Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. Stay safe.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube, and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.